Here's that action that I was saying to look out for on the top right corner there by the gates. We have some very lucky behind-the-scenes guests today. Visitors just like you who've booked onto a special behind-the-scenes experience with our tigers today. And they will be out there working with Keeper Sheila today. We've been working with the tigers for a really long time. A total expert in tigers. Now, what does it look like our visitors seem to be carrying? What do we think, gang? What have they got in their hands?
Watermelon.
Yes, absolutely right. Everybody says watermelon, and we all go, why on earth might that be? Well, just like I said before, we are super lucky to be witnessing this today because this is a really unique opportunity for us. This doesn't happen every day. Now, as you are probably aware, tigers are carnivores. If they're carnivores, that means they eat meat and more meat, doesn't it? So you're probably wondering why they're being given watermelon. Well, let me tell you, it is not necessarily for eating. It is a form of what we call enrichment for our tigers. So enrichment is basically any activity or any way that we can physically or mentally engage our tigers. And we have a whole host of different things up our sleeves that we do in order to enrich our tigers. One such thing that we might do is bringing in some animal food from a different animals exhibit, popping it in there, and of course the tigers come out, have a good smell and think who's been in my territory. Obviously, being a zoo, we can't just unleash a whole herd of buffalo and have them charge through here, but we can replicate that scent and that sensation through other means such as I said, popping animal poo in there. Sometimes we put in animal bedding from other animal exhibits. We pop that in there as well. That will give the same effect. It's also not unusual to see the old tiger keeper giving a bit of a spray of the old Chanel No. 5 from time to time. Absolutely, if you've got any old perfumes at home or you've got any dodgy perfumes for Christmas that you don't want, okay, you don't need to tell anyone. You just need to drop it in here at the zoo reception and our tiger keepers will be very grateful. Let's give a wave goodbye to our behind-the-scenes guests. They did a great job there popping out those watermelon enrichments. And so another form of enrichment, as is the case today, would be putting out watermelon. Now you've got to think of the shape of a watermelon. The fact that it's round, it's a little bit like a toy ball in a way. And it's also nice and slippery, so that the tigers will find it hard to get a good grip on it. So this is going to be an interesting little activity for them to explore, to discover, to work out what it is and what to do with it. I've seen this done before with pumpkins, which is quite hilarious, watching a big cat, you know, capable of taking down big wildebeest, struggling to get its paws onto a slipping and sliding pumpkin. So let's see if the same thing happens today with our watermelon. Guys, if you look to the right, just above where the water ends, just to the right here, that's where you want to cast your eyes right now. Because two of our beautiful boys, Archie and Hutat, are going to come, no doubt, charging out of that gate there and into the exhibit that is in front of us. Because we not only have this fantastic exhibit in front of us, but we also have a great off-limits area to the side, which we can't see from here, but it is another whole area, and there's a little training yard and some dens in there as well. So we have 3 Sumatran tigers in this particular part of the zoo, and they're all related. Indra, the female who's out before, is the sister of these 2 boys coming out now. They're playing it pretty cool today, slinking out. There we are, Archie and Hutat, both brothers, and both out. Now, they haven't blocked the watermelon yet, have they? But they're certainly having a good look around and a sniff around, trying to work out what's going on in here. So already the enrichment seems to be working on them in that they haven't found it yet. So the Sumatran tiger is just one of 9 tiger subspecies. Tragically, 3 of those subspecies is already extinct, and many others are in a lot of problems in the wild. The Sumatran tiger, which is in front of us right now, is the smallest of the tiger subspecies. They also have darker coats and their stripes are a little bit closer together than a lot of the other tiger subspecies. Does anyone know which of the tiger subspecies is the largest? The largest tiger. It's not the Bengal tiger, a lot of people say that. It's probably the most common one you see in zoos around the world. And it's in fact the Siberian tiger is the largest. Quite a bit bigger, but these boys, they can weigh in at around between 110 and 120 kilograms. They tend to be close towards the 120 kilogram end. Looks like one of them had discovered the watermelon, had a bit of a sniff, but moved on. Probably thinking, hold on, that's not meat, that's something else. So another interesting thing we do here at the zoo to replicate very much the lifestyle of the tiger in the wild is that we have what we call fast days, 2 days a week. So 5 days a week we feed them meat. This is very, very high quality meat. In fact, sometimes I see the meat out there, I think, gee, that would look great on my barbecue weekend. But of course, tigers. They can be fed meat anywhere from kangaroo, beef, goat, chicken, all sorts of different meats. But then 2 days a week they will not be given any food. They will not be given any meat. Now as you can see here, our tigers is now discovering what happens when the watermelon starts to roll. And hence a game that started. That's straight in the water. Tigers are, of course, they can swim. They're very capable swimmers. So we'll see here if Sumatran wants to go in the water there. Looks like he's quite enjoying just popping in for a bit of a dip there. And if you'll notice, he's quite intrigued by something near the drain there. Now, I've got to point out to you guys, recently we've had quite a lot of water dragons in this particular area of the zoo, so wild water dragons are coming to Melbourne Zoo, and they have been known on occasion to make their way into the tiger exhibit. Not that I can see any now, but that's something else to bear in mind, a bit of natural enrichment, you could say. Sam's just chilling out there, enjoying that dip there. Looking around the corner, got the watermelon nearby should he ever wish to go back to it. But as I was saying before about the fast days, 2 days a week we give them what we call a fast day. Something's caught his eye down there, he's very intrigued. So in the wild, I think my microphone's just died, that's okay, I can project. Oh, great.
Wat een mooie taak.
Just a shame to keep my batteries in the microphone going on the back. Okay, it looks like we're back in action. I just refueled my microphone in here. Some new batteries. So as I was saying, 2 days a week in the wild are fast days, and that is because as a Sumatran tiger in the wild, you are not successful every time you go in for the kill. In fact, generally only about 1 in every attempt to take down your prey will be successful. And what this means is that when you do take down your prey, you are likely to want to gorge yourself on that because you don't know when your next feed will be. So in the wild, they go to a big gorge and then they may not need to eat for the next couple of days. Also, if you think about it, if you're consuming things such as feathers and blood and bone and cartilage as well as all that meat, you're certainly going to need some time to digest that as well. We do on occasion feed our tigers whole chickens so that they, just like in the wild, have to pluck out the feathers and get to the bits. And so here they have 2 fast days a week, which we do rotate to keep nice and unpredictable for them. And on those days, they will certainly get other forms of enrichment and activities to deal with during that time. Now, can you see that Archer just over there on the left is totally in the sweet spot there? Got a bit of a waterfall that's coming down his tail there. That's the life, isn't it? Absolutely. So obviously, if you're in the wild and you wanted to escape from a tiger, you would not go into the water, would you, gang? I think that's something we've ascertained already today. Do you reckon you'd climb a tree? If you wanted to escape from a tiger in the wild, would you climb a tree? Well, I wouldn't recommend it because they can climb. If you've got cats at home, you'll know how good they are at getting a good grip on things and climbing. Well, so too can the tigers. They are fantastic climbers. In fact, look towards the middle of the exhibit. Can you see a tree where the top has been chopped off? Just in the middle, straight in front of us. If you actually look at that, you can see scratch marks all the way up it, all the way to the top. And also over to the left, in the middle, we also have a pole which has a winch on it. And we can winch meat up to the top of the pole. And believe me, Archer or Hutan, they can get to the top to get that meat in just 2 bounds. So 2 grabs, just in 2 bounds there at the top. So definitely don't climb a tree if you want to escape a Sumatran tiger. Now, all tigers, just like our fingerprints, they all have their own markings. They're as unique as my fingerprints. And I can tell you now, if you're wondering why the boys are particularly interested in that spot there at the moment, I am guessing that it has something to do with their sister, who's on the other side of the fence, off there in the off-limits display. Now every now and then when Indra comes into estrus, so when she's ready to mate, these two can smell it. And it tends to drive them a little bit crazy. So I suspect that they're just a bit curious about their sister on the other side there, which brings me to my next point, which is a good one to point out. Because a lot of people ask, do we ever mix Indra in with her 2 brothers? No, we definitely do not. If we did that, first of all, these 2 would fight to compete for her. They would fight with each other. That would get a bit nasty. And secondly, they would likely breed with her. And since they are related, we obviously do not want that. We are, however, a part of an international breeding program. Very proud here at Zoo Victoria to be a part of that. Because in the wild, the Sumatran tiger is critically endangered. The next level from critical endangerment is extinction. There's no in-between gap now. We do know for a fact that there are definitely no more than 300 of them in the wild. On the island of Sumatra there off the coast of Indonesia, there are only maximum 300 left. Of course, of that 300, the viable breeding population would be even lower than that. And the main reason for this has to do with the palm oil industry. You may be aware we have a super cool campaign here called Don't Palm Us Off. All the information about this campaign is just further around the trail at the Orangutan Sanctuary. Please do go visit our supermarkets today and get yourself super informed about palm oil. You can interact with our little touch screen there and find out if your favourite products do contain palm oil or if they contain certified sustainable palm oil. CSPO is the way to go, gang. That's a good catchphrase to remember. CSPO is the way to go. That's certified sustainable palm oil because palm oil is very versatile and very cheap to make, and because of its versatility, it's probably in about 80% of products we have on the supermarket shelf. However, we often don't even know that it's in a product we've chosen because there's no law in Australia that says we have to label it as an ingredient. So it can often come under the guise of something else like vegetable oil, so we often don't know. However, there is certified sustainable palm oil, which we do know is just that. It is sustainable. No new forests are being burnt to the ground in order to create certified sustainable palm oil. And in that sense, we're definitely encouraging that. And excitingly, through our supermarket, visitors just like you who have interacted with it over the last few years, we've seen some massive, and I mean massive changes in the way manufacturers are sourcing their palm oil. We've actually managed to convince through our campaign a whole host of very big manufacturers in Australia to make the switch to certified sustainable palm oil. And the exciting thing is that the commitment that these manufacturers signed takes effect in 2015. And what year are we? We're in 2015. So this is a very exciting year for our campaign here at the zoo because it is the year that we're going to see a lot more CSPO being used in products. So next time you're at the supermarket, just see if you can spot the CSPO label on any products that you may be considering purchasing. One of our tigers just up around the left there having a bit of a roar. Of course, big cats are the only cats that can roar. Just giving that roach a bit of a work out there, saying hello. We like a bit of that. So please do check out our supermarket when you head around to the Orang Sanctuary. And know that by doing that, you will be helping these beautiful Sumatran tigers in the wild. Because we are part of a breeding program, but there is only so much that we can do in terms of creating an insurance population. So you can do your bits and look out for CSPO at the supermarket. Gang, I'm going to wrap it up there. My name is Andy. If you have any questions, feel free to come and chat to me and my colleague Moz. I also have some stickers for anyone who would love a Don't Palm Us Off sticker. Feel free to come on over and grab one of those. Thank you.